Alright, so today we have one that I've been waiting to make for a while. This is, I think the thing's probably upside down. This is Strike King's Hogfather Jr. It is a collaboration with Tater Hog Baits. Kind of like the Spro KGB Shad. It's going to be something along those lines. There was a custom designer named Tater Hog, and they got together with Strike King to make a plastic version of their baits. So this guy's going to come in at $45. I ordered mine from Scottsboro Tackle. To my knowledge, they were the first ones to get it to where you could order it, so that is what I did. So just a few specs. I'm reading right here from the box: 7 inches, 2.5 ounces, and the hooks are size number 1s. You guys are seeing this video after I have already made one trip out with it. So let's just kind of go through the bait. It was announced at ICAST this year, 2025, and I've been waiting to get it so I could play around with it. I do a little bit of glide bait stuff, not a ton. Down here in South Alabama, I use them. Just going to give my thoughts on it, make a few trips with it, hopefully catch some fish, and see if it is going to be a producer and it's something that I constantly throw, or maybe just a novelty bait. So let's get with it. When you take this guy out of the package, I'm not sure about you, but the first thing I notice are these giant split rings right here. And these things are whoppers. Not sure exactly why you need a split ring that big, but those are hosses. They really kind of stand out with the lure and everything else. Next thing, 2.5 ounces. It's pretty heavy bait. Not super heavy as far as glide baits go, but as far as regular bass fishing stuff, pretty heavy. Nice durable rubber tail. Feels really tough. It is kept in there by a little screw, and they give you an extra tail in case you lose the one provided. The range of motion on this joint, something like that. This is billed as a slow sinking bait, and my experience with it is it does sink. It sinks something like about like this. It's almost a suspend. It is a very slow sink. Very slow. I am going to put some fishing footage in the video. I took this thing out to a little, very clear river, almost a creek, and I was just throwing it out, giving it some little rod twitches, making it chop back and forth. It has a pretty good chop to it, and then whenever you just reel it, it's kind of got that wide glide to it. Not super wide, but pretty wide. One thing I could not get the hang of when throwing this bait was how to make it land in the water quietly. I could do it every now and then, just kind of, that underhanded sort of lob action and trying to pull back on the rod right before it lands. It always would make a pretty big sploosh, and I think that was scaring fish where I was at, and I couldn't get them on camera, but I had 3 followers to this bait. The little creek that I was in, it's just got spotted bass, maybe about that big in it, all the way to little guys. And I had brim follow it, little bluegill. I had some tiny bass, and I had like maybe 1.5 pound, 2.5 pound, not 2.5, about 1.5 pound-ish spotted bass follow it. None of that showed up on the camera, but what did show up is you can kind of see the action of this thing when I'm giving that little reel handle and a tut, little rod twitches. You can see how it moves towards the end of the cast. So I'm going to show some of that footage now. So we've talked about the lure. I've introduced it. It's $45 after shipping. It ended up being a little over $50 because I think it was like $8 to ship it. I do have another little interesting thing to show you. So when I first started using the lure, it was 11:30-ish, pretty close to midday, and as I was throwing it, a predator descended on it, and I'm going to show that footage now. Whoa. Okay, I don't know if the camera got that. It must look pretty good because I just had an owl try to get it. Golly. Ugh. That is definitely a first. I've never had an owl try to take any of my baits. So I would say this Hogfather Jr. is owl approved. Didn't want to catch the owl, but the owl sure did like it. So what do I think about the bait? I like it. I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but these hook hangers kind of rotate. It's a pretty standard thing in glide baits. Keeps you from losing fish from them twisting around. I just kind of noticed that I may or may not have talked about that. But so what are your thoughts on the Hogfather Jr.? It's definitely the coolest name going, I would say. It's kind of funny. Is this something I need to throw more? Are you interested in seeing me throw it more? I do want to catch a fish on it. Whenever I buy a lure or anything that's new, I always like to at least have one catch on it before I, keep it in the lineup or retire it. I like to get one decent catch. I think this one's going to end up catching a big guy, 7 inches long. It's about the size of my hand. So let me know your thoughts on the Hogfather Jr. So give me some feedback. See you on the next one.